Welcome to this tutorial showing how to transpose data in Microsoft Excel. Transposing data is necessary when the data is set up vertically, so by columns, and needs to be set up horizontally, by rows, or vice versa. There is a couple of ways to transpose data. One is very common, by using copying and paste special, but it is not dynamic. And the second solution consists in using a formula, and this time it will be dynamic. Dynamic means that if you update your data source, the newly created table will reflect the changes. So let's go over an example and let's apply the two solutions. This is our data, sales by quarter and month. Let's select our data table with the headers, Ctrl+C to copy it, selecting a cell for the destination, making a right click, paste special, and in the paste special menu, I will check transpose, clicking on OK. And now we have a brand new table, which is the same data, but this time it is set up horizontally. Let's see how it works the other way. Let's say that the current selection is our data source. Ctrl+C, selecting a cell, making a right click, paste special, transpose, clicking on OK. And now we have another table, this time set up vertically. As I mentioned before, the first technique is very easy, but it is not dynamic. So let's test this. Let's say January sales for Q1 is actually 25,000. Updating my data source will not update the sales in my tables. So now let's go over the second solution. Let's remove what we've done so far. And this time we're going to use a formula. So let's pay attention to the name box here. By selecting the table, which is my data source, it's currently saying 13R times 3C for 13 rows by 3 columns. So by transposing, my newly created table will have 13 columns and 3 rows. So that's what we want to select. 3 rows by 13 columns. Now that my area is selected, I'm going to go to the formula bar and type equals transpose, opening parentheses, and selecting my data source, closing parentheses. And because we are working with an array, it needs to be entered as an array formula. So I'm not going to press enter to validate the formula. Instead, I'm going to enter the combination of 3 keys, Ctrl, Shift, Enter. And now we have our data, and it's connected to the data source. So going back to January, updating the sales amount to 12,000. The change is now reflected in my transpose table. It is dynamic. And this is how you transpose data in Microsoft Excel. Thanks for watching.